YouTube! What's up? Attorney Tom here, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin legal? How is it going to be taxed? When are we going to become internet billionaires? To the moon, baby! In case you've been living under a rock, Bitcoin's been having a crazy week. We've hit all-time highs of 48,000. Tesla announced that they bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and a whole bunch of other institutional investors are starting to get in on Bitcoin. So it's starting to become mainstream. But there are a lot of legal questions surrounding Bitcoin because something like this has never really happened in our history. Before we begin, this video is not about what a Bitcoin is. You already know that. It's not about how the blockchain works. You already know that. This video is about the legalities of Bitcoin and where I think things are going to go. The closest thing Bitcoin is treated like is real estate. When you buy a Bitcoin at a certain price and it appreciates in value, you're not necessarily paying taxes on the appreciation in value until you sell it. And if you sell it within a 1-year time period, you have to pay short-term capital gains. And if you hold on to the Bitcoin for longer than a year, you have to pay long-term capital gains. But that's not necessarily true with losses. If a Bitcoin depreciates in value and you refuse to sell it, you very well might be able to depreciate the value of the Bitcoin against your business. Although I'm not a tax attorney, this is not legal advice, this is not financial advice. I just know that those accountants or tax LLM gurus can do stuff like that. All right, addressing the elephant in the room. Is Bitcoin legal? In the United States, yes. It is totally legal to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin. But that's not the case for every country. I know in the past few years, India implemented a ban on Bitcoin, although I'm not completely sure if that still is in effect. As of right now, it's totally legal to use in the United States. Interesting hypothetical, could the United States government ban Bitcoin? I really don't know the answer to that at this very moment. I would imagine they probably could, but I'm not sure. But if that video topic is very interesting to y'all, let me know in the comments below. And if it gets enough comments or traction, then I'll do research and we'll make a proper video about that. But as of right now, it's totally illegal. Okay, moving to the next topic. Can a business accept Bitcoin instead of cash? Well, yes. In theory, a business can accept anything it wants. I could barter my paper clip remover or envelope opener, whatever it is, for any form of service. Now, how is that regulated? Well, essentially what you have to do is you have to assign a fair market value to the item that you barter with the goods and services you exchange. So you assign a US dollar amount to that. For Bitcoin, that's pretty easy because there are markets which will literally tell you what the fair value of the Bitcoin is at the time those services take place. And while this is not legal advice, the way you would calculate the fair market value of the Bitcoin you received if your business accepted it, outside of any kind of contract or anything like that, would be the average value of a Bitcoin on that day that you received the Bitcoin. And because Bitcoin is so volatile, it can swing tens of thousands of dollars in a day. So I think the IRS, I don't know. You get what I'm saying. It would be the value of the Bitcoin at the time you perform the services. You take the fair market value of that, and that is how much money you would essentially allot in your taxes or business forms on how much money you made when calculating your taxes or all that kind of stuff. Next question. How would the government find out I have Bitcoin, and should I pay taxes on it? The government will find out you have Bitcoin, or they probably will find out you have Bitcoin, because most exchanges which are regulated by the SEC, such as Coinbase or Gemini, have to turn over all tax data related to accounts that are set up with that system. So when you open up a Coinbase account, you have to put in your tax ID, your driver's license, the info about yourself so they know who's transacting business. Now, obviously, there are workarounds to this, right? There's always going to be black market sites or other off-the-grid wallets. And even if you're completely anonymous in the way you buy Bitcoin, well, the blockchain ledgers who owns what. So even though your wallet ID won't be linked to your physical name, it can be traced. So if you ever got into real tax issues, they probably would be able to track you down somewhere or the other. I don't know how, and I know a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, oh, Tom, you know, fucking, I'm so smart and I can totally avoid the government until it happens to you and the government comes down on you. So yes, pay taxes on your Bitcoin. Now let's talk about something that I personally don't want to talk about because I love Bitcoin. I own some of it myself. Why you shouldn't buy Bitcoin? And the short answer is it doesn't really come with any protections, legal or otherwise. Other forms of spending and monetary transactions are governed by consumer protection laws, meaning if I steal your credit card, go spend thousands of dollars on stupid stuff, well, you can dispute that with your credit card company. You can say, well, hey, that wasn't me. Somebody stole my credit card, refund my account, blah, 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 blah. And you'll probably be okay. With Bitcoin, there is no safeguard. You see on the news all the time stories ranging from people hacking into Bitcoin wallets and transferring millions of dollars in Bitcoin away from somebody. Or on the other side of the spectrum, people can't even log in to their Bitcoin wallet. And there's no safety net. There's no I forgot my password if you own a cold storage Bitcoin wallet. There's literally one guy who has like 2 more attempts, I think, to sign into his Bitcoin wallet. And if he doesn't get it right, he's going to lose $200 million plus worth of Bitcoin. So if you're somebody who needs that extra layer of protection in order to get into an investment, this probably isn't for you. And if that's the case, I would imagine somebody like that would instead invest in stocks that have a heavy correlation to crypto. I think there are some ETFs or index funds that are literally tied to crypto, or they're coming up, or even stocks like Tesla, if they have a large position in Bitcoin, you could assume that their stock is somewhat on a very, very small scale pegged to the price of Bitcoin, for better or for worse. Final topic, where do I think cryptocurrency and the law is heading? I definitely think over the next decade, there's going to be no choice but to implement some form of laws on cryptocurrency. Even though I probably would disagree with the laws that are going to be made, the government just doesn't like giving up power, just a matter of fact. And if people are storing value in something that is not something that they can control, well, they're either going to have to buy up a lot of it themselves so they control a lot of the reserve, or they're going to have to regulate it. Remember, the thing that makes Bitcoin sexy to a lot of people is that the fact that it's decentralized. It's not owned by any one government or person. Nobody owns the idea of Bitcoin, nor can they inflate it. The amount of Bitcoins that can ever exist ever are 21 million. So essentially it's a hedge against inflation. Because it's basically gold, but you can transact it, you can move it easy, you can break it up into millionths. I think it's just better than gold overall. But I'm getting sidetracked. Regulation. Right now, it's kind of like the Wild West. There's not a whole lot of regulation, although the SEC does regulate Bitcoin operating entities, and the IRS is on the lookout for people who transact, buy, and sell or exchange a lot in Bitcoin and are going after them for tax fraud. But yeah, I definitely think that's going to change. There's going to be more laws in place, more regulations in place. They might even change how it's classified, meaning they might change it from something that's similar to real estate to maybe something that's even more like a currency. That's all I got for today, guys. This video was supposed to be more of an intro video. I want to do more in-depth things on this channel, specifically about business, finance, cryptocurrency, things that I find interesting. But I just wanted to introduce this topic, and I really wanted to get your feedback. What specific questions do you want me to answer with respect to cryptocurrency so I can do research and analysis? Please let me know in the comments below. As always, thank y'all so much for your support. Please like this channel, like this video, and subscribe to this channel if you want to be a part of this community. I'll see you guys soon.